Howdy, folks. Hey now, we're back for another Behind the Investigation Live with Jared
and Brent.
I'm Brent, Pasadena Paranormal. So tonight, we got Joe from the paranormal side, and we're going to be chatting about Battleborn.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be chatting about EVP. It's going to be an in-deep discussion, I think. What's up, Jax?
Jax.
Bud Files, what's up? Hey,
Jax,
Bud
Gene,
Files.
Bud Files.
I'm sorry I missed your premiere today, Bud Files. I will rewatch. I promise. It was a bad time. Hey, Get Spooky, what's up? How are you? When's your new video coming out? Brent, Get Spooky. Get Spooky does the flashlight session like we do as well.
Excellent. You know what? I don't know if we can Get Spooky. Hold on. Let me see if I got Get Spooky on my sub list.
Crap. Hold on a second. Conjuring. Hold on. I need to make you blue. Hold on a second. All right. I need to make you blue. Oh. Hold on a second. Get Spooky. You're our moderator. Come hither. You're a moderator. Joe is already. Where did Conjuring Cornish? There you go. You are a moderator. Everybody can feel free to post your links whenever you want to.
I just subbed.
There you go. They're cool with three souls right there. Our brother Steve. Steve, I thought you were going to sleep tonight, man. I thought you had work tomorrow. And Joe, the bearded historian of Bud Files, is here. Mario is here from
Hey Mario,
Supernatural. So that's cool. All right, so tonight we are going to be talking about EVP and what is an EVP and what can be classified as an EVP and what happens when EVPs occur. An EVP or a disembodied voice. And what's the difference between an EVP and an ITC capture? We're going to be talking about this.
Good one. This is going to be a good one. I think we're going to end up hitting on a lot of different kind of sides of the fence here. So I just want to go ahead and lead in saying that anything we say is all opinion and theory, like everything else here, and we're not trying to offend anybody. I think me and Jared may disagree on a couple things.
I have it's not like we haven't wrestled each other in the backyard every now and then.
That's right. That's why we don't drink that Jameson no more.
That's why. Man, this chat is on fire tonight. Hey, Christy D, what's up? Go ahead, Brent. Say hi to Christy D because she's calling you out.
I just did. What up?
So, but Eli, what's up? Did you ever get that nacho cheese pizza? Because I'll tell you what, you need to get one. It's amazing. Jane, Deb, our Battleborn families in the house. So tomorrow, folks, please, if you're interested, we have a live stream coming. Tomorrow we'll be raising $250 for the London Town and Gardens. We have a public tour with folks from the area. They're paying $25 a piece. We got 10 folks. All that money's going to London Town to raise in these troubling times. But we will be going live during this investigation. Bass Paranormal, what's up?
Paranormal. Rose in here too. What's up, sis?
Rose.
I know you drive. She driving. Don't make her type. We love you.
Yeah, but we're raising $250 for the London Town and Gardens. And 8:30 to 9 o'clock we'll be live during this tour. It'll probably be in the basement of the William Brown house, which is the most active part on the property, I would say.
I love it.
So go ahead. That's going to be 8:30 tomorrow to 9 o'clock, and next week we will be live 8:30 to 9 o'clock in the site of episode 4, which should be coming out soon. The Wareheim Myers Mansion.
I'm working to finish that review up.
What should be out soon. We don't have Ed tonight. Ed is having a vacation. Ed's on vacation in Florida. He's a big baseball fan like myself. Although
I was there last weekend, so
yeah, Brent was there. That's why me and Jackie did it last week.
Which, by the way, shout out to Jackie. Hold on, shout out to Jackie, sister. I love you. It was so awesome that you stepped in last weekend. It made me smile so much to see you jump in there, and I know it makes you uncomfortable, but man, we would love to see you jump in more.
She did a good job. She's actually in the shower right now. She was going to, but then she was like, you know what? It's shower time. So, Cheryl King, what's up? How are you?
Hey, Cheryl.
She's in the shower, Christy. I'll tell her you said it. Hopefully, she comes in and says hi. She really likes Joe's southern accent. She said Joe's southern accent's way better than my southern Baltimore accent. So, April 2nd, we'll be live. Again, we'll probably have another Wednesday upload. What's up, Brent?
I said Pocket Watch. I was just giving a shout out.
Oh, there's a lot of this whole thing. Everybody, please subscribe to everybody. Everybody, please subscribe to everybody. Support everybody. Go into their video, like a video, leave a comment. Support. That's what this family's all about. So with that being said, hopefully everybody comes over to the live tomorrow, and hopefully everybody comes over to the live next week, and hopefully we can get a premiere out to you for episode 4 soon. Brent.
Everybody say hi to him. Go ahead and say it, Jared.
Everybody, Mock from Black Collar Project is in the chat. Please, everybody say Mock. He's not the green monster. He's a good guy.
Mock, the gangbang don't ever start till you get involved. So we've all been waiting. Everybody's about to leave.
Everybody say hi to the Aussie, Jane, and no. This is every night, Julie. This is every Friday night. This is just a hangout, Thanks, Mark. I ain't been to the gym in a while, but they're still there.
Don't blow his head up any more than it needs to be, Mark.
So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and bring in Joe, my brother Joe, Battleborn. What's up, Joe?
My neighbor. He read up.
I know y'all need to get together and
seriously, we ain't that far away.
Right.
Couple hours.
Dude, he's close to you, Brent. Brent's in Lexington, right? You're in Lexington?
Yeah, Lexington, South Carolina. So right below Columbia. He's like, yeah, you're over.
So tonight, Joe, this was Joe's idea. He wanted to talk about EVP. But first of all, for Debbie in the chat, Spectral Researchers, Debbie wanted us to touch base on something. A lot of people, when they hear an ITC capture come through a spirit box or an echo box, they like to say, hey, nice EVPs. To me, an EVP is an electronical voice phenomena. Right?
Okay.
ITC is
exactly what the
instrumental. ITC is instrumental trans communication. You're using an instrument to capture that response, right?
Okay. Right. So, all right.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say now. I'm just loosely basing this next comment. This is my comment here on what you just said. You are using a term that someone gave to something to define a difference. a term doesn't define a difference. What causes something typically defines a difference. I mean, yes, a blue pen and a red pen are different, but they're both still pens, right? So
Sure.
I think before anybody should really just get on a hard hill to die on, really the thing to do is define not what an EVP is, okay, or
how it happens.
But what causes it? What causes an EVP? And not a spirit talking, but if you can identify what causes an EVP, then you can start finding differences. Is there a difference between what causes an EVP in a spirit box versus what causes an EVP in, say, your digital recorder or the audio from your camera? So I think we need to get a little more in the weeds if everybody would allow that. And that would help. And I'm not saying we could solve it or do it here, but I would love to hear theories on that.
Yep. And again, anybody in the chat can go ahead and throw their opinions out there. But Joe, what do you got on that, brother?
Well, scientists believe that whether it's ITC or EVP, they still believe that it's something coming from radio signals, coming from outer space or in the air.
All right. Yep.
Those bastards.
Right. And you also have DVP, direct voice phenomena, also, and
which direct voice phenomena I like to call just straight up a disembodied voice. Like the other day when we were having our conversation with Debbie and she said DVP, I knew what she was talking about, but I like to call it just a straight up disembodied voice that we hear with our ears that is not coming out of vocal cords.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to say, and I don't have to jump into it now. I have two theories that actually combat each other. I'm not saying I'm subscribed to one or the other, but they hit on both of those subjects, and I have theories that would back both of those up.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know in the early 1900s or before the 1900s, Tesla, he was experimenting with crystals. And he was actually getting voices that he recognized as human voices. And, the radio commercially really wasn't broadcasting out until around the 1900s. So he was getting stuff through his devices that he had before radio was really broadcasting out.
And keep in mind, that's not paranormal. That's vibration.
Right.
All right. Hearing a resonance that your ear picks up. Our ear's designed to take a pressure wave at a frequency. Go ahead.
Hey, Sweet Pea. How does our voice get out to people?
We create a pressure wave with our vocal
vibration through the.
It creates a pressure wave at a frequency, and it's constantly changing with our tones. Creates a frequency that someone else picks up, or a microphone picks up. The microphone turns it into an electrical signal and puts out, so a microphone is just like your eardrum. It's taking a vibration, creating that frequency into electrical signel and producing a sound in a speaker. It's all a speaker is a vibrating something like that, with a magnet, and it produces sound at the same frequency.
Right.
And
hey, Faza, and hey, Courtney, go ahead, Brent. Just keep on going.
Yeah. So, I mean, so my first theory actually would kind of fall into that. So, I'm sure every one of us has done this or still does it. I know we always do. Everybody does it. How many times have you said, can you use the energy of this or the energy of this and do something? So there's always that premise that they need to gather energy from something in order to do something. Right. That's a little foreign to me, but I go with it because we don't really have much else to go with. Okay. So if they're able to take energy from whatever, vocal cord or not, if they can use energy in whatever fashion, I mean, energy is all around. Light is energy, heat, you name it, it's energy. Everything you're touching is energy, in mass. So if they can take that and create a pressure wave in the air, and they have an understanding of the frequency, you can create sound. You can create a word. So going back to the crystal, I do want to say, I think, you know, it may rub people the wrong way, but I think everybody also needs to take into account the fact that we are fallible, you know, just like, you know, pareidolia. You can look at something and you can see a face or something, right? Or you can look in the darkness and see a shadow and, you know, think it's a person and it's just a coat rack, you know? Same thing with sound. We have to acknowledge that, yes, we can be tricked. I'm not saying everything's a trick. That, don't get me wrong, but I think it is important that it keeps us on our toes. It keeps us honest to really think about that, because you can vibrate a crystal and think it said yes, you know, especially with those short syllable, quick words. Yes, no. Those are some of the toughest ones, because everything sounds like yes. You rub your foot across the floor and it sounds like yes, you know? So, but
I always try to, you know, we try to pass off our EVPs. We like full sentence sometimes. That's the only ones that we really try to.
I mean,
exactly. If it's really good, you know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. If we're talking and there's a voice that sounds like Joe in the room, and Joe's nowhere around, we're miles away from it, he says yes, I'm not gonna argue with it. You know, that was a dude saying yes. So, but the fact still remains, you know, that it can happen. But I just want to put that out there. But going back to the pressure waves and creating that, obviously a microphone works that way, right? So, and our ears work that way. So when you look at EVP and you look at disembodied voice, they could be the same thing. But if it's a pressure wave, all right, and keep in mind, I mean, like, so the human ear, all right, our range, I'm trying to think of what it is, what our range of hearing is, 0 dB to, I'm sorry, let's go with, man, hold on, let me look real quick. The amount of energy it would take to actually like create a sound wave at like 40 decibels, 40 dB level, which is like a high whisper. All right, like this conversation here is probably like 60 dB. Like 60 decibels dB is like the average range for a conversation, right? I think 20 or 30 is like a soft whisper. 40 dB would be like a high whisper. All right. Well, in the human hearing range, it doesn't take that much energy for you to produce a whisper at 40 dB. All right. And I'm gonna get a little nerdy on you. It would take 1/100 millionth of a watted energy. You know, don't think about voltage, but wattage is energy. 1/100 millionth of a watt to create a 40 dB whisper. That's not a lot of energy at all. All right. The kicker is, how far does that pressure wave carry? Not very far. So if you have a microphone over there and you're standing right here and that soft pressure wave comes through, you could hear it, but the microphone didn't pick it up, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
Like the time in Gettysburg when we were walking up the damn steps. And
I think that's different. I think that's different for a reason, because our audio popped.
Exactly.
Our audio
that's crazy.
That's Joe, different.
We were in the Jenny Wade, Joe, right?
Yep.
And me and Brent walking up the first floor into the second floor.
Yeah.
And we both had our handhelds at the time, right? And I got up to the last step, and it sounded like an older gentleman sat up and went, "Hey." And I went,
dude, it was
like this, right? I almost knocked Brent down the damn steps, because I was like,
Brent almost ran down and says, "Oh, what the heck?"
I was like, did you just hear that? He was like, "Yeah, I heard it." I was like, "I hope the camera got it." And
both of our cameras popped.
both of our handhelds at the time that it happened had an audio pop to it.
Like a
Wow.
Now, again, so that's different. That's different than what we we're just talking about, though, because we've all had it where, you capture something on, obviously we capture EVPs all the time. Everybody does, and you didn't hear audibly with your ears.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. That should be extremely interesting to everybody when you're trying to look at why. Because if you understand how a device works, you can understand what could have made something happen. So a pressure wave is what a microphone is designed to pick up. But there is one key factor that people do overlook quite often, unless you're in the audio business. And that's the microphone is great at picking up RF. Wonderful. It is an antenna. It's a receiving antenna. Its design is to receive the sound and put it to a recorder. And I do want to say, one factor about an EVP that I think is sincere is that a recording device is not necessary. I don't think it is, because it's the receiving factor. That's what I want to kind of dig into. If there's nothing to receive, there's nothing to get recorded. All a microphone does. Go ahead.
You remember the camera that I sent to you, Joe, in the chat the other day?
Yeah.
The one that has the microphone on top of it, the handheld.
Right. Yeah.
Those handhelds, you can literally put an earbud in.
Yeah.
And hear real time.
Yeah, that microphone, you don't even need to hook it up to the camera.
It's almost like
plug it in and put it in your ear and hear what's
EVP.
What's coming through that microphone.
You can hear EVP happening to where you don't have to go back and check your digital voice recorder.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been thinking about getting some of them.
You can pick it up.
Kelly, Shane and Kelly, we're going to be there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this, it's an interesting thing. I can tell you that.
But let's go back to that, because the microphone. So microphone picks up a pressure wave. Everybody knows that. It's what it's designed to do. All right. But it also can pick up RF. Now, I'll go ahead and step on some toes. And, I think it's important for us all just to be honest. Yes. One of the claims that an EVP is just RF bleed. Why? Because a microphone can pick up RF. Right. Again, if you're in the audio business, this is a huge ordeal, because you're trying to get the crispest, cleanest audio, and RF interference is everywhere. If there's AC circuits running, if you have alternating current going through a conductor, it's producing RF. All right. Exactly. So DC typically doesn't, but if you were to switch from DC to AC and DC to AC, it would. Or anytime you flip a switch, if you turn a DC circuit on off, it produces RF. Because it's that current change. The sun's producing RF. Our atmosphere is producing RF, because you have charged particles colliding. So RF is everywhere. So most of the time they're not picking up voices, but a microphone, a good microphone, can definitely pick up a talk show. When you have a nice audio system, that's why they shield everything. Right.
That's why when you're trying to pass off an EVP, it's always good to know your research of the location.
Yep.
I would also say, another thing that's that we're all trying to get to is a nicer equipment. Recognize that not all microphones are created equal. You can get a $5 microphone off of Amazon, and you're probably going to get some staticky, noisy audio, and you can pay $1,000 for a microphone that's very well shielded, and you can get very crisp, clean audio. But there's always going to be a bleed. So that being said, go ahead.
I'll tell you what, the microphones that we got on the camera and our digital voice recorders, the Sonys, I didn't pay anything over. The ones for the cameras are $19.99, and the Sony digital voice recorder is $39.
Right.
And now I love those.
But I want to go ahead and propose kind of a counter to what you were saying. kind of getting it earlier that, so the difference between a spirit box being an ITC, not EVP, and what you collect on your digital recorder or your camera, where it's analog or digital, your recording device as an EVP. Because think about this. If they're using RF to speak, all right, both of those devices are 100% proven to receive RF. They're communicating through sound.
I'm not saying an ITC response is not spirit communication.
Right. Absolutely. What I'm trying to dig at is if it's RF, then your intention. I mean, if you're to say, all right, so let's go back to that ITC. So what was ITC stand for again?
Instrumental trans communication.
What's the difference between using a spirit box to get communication and using a digital recorder to get communication? It's an instrument. Is it the fact that you're not listening to it right away?
Because ITC is, Joe, are you with me on this one, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
ITC is real-time communication.
Right.
Real-time communication.
All right?
Okay. So,
all right, but also the difference between ITC and EVP, they're coming through a device. They're using a device to get that out, right?
Both are doing that.
Disembodied voice, we hear with our ears.
Put disembodied voice aside. Yeah. Okay, put disembodied voice aside for a second. Just talking about spirit box, and digital recorder. Just talking about those right now. But to put the disembodied voice off for a second.
What do you think, Joe?
And if you will, take EVP away from disembodied voice for kicks and giggles to show me some love. Because if you were to put a microphone in your ear, a speaker in your ear, or attach a speaker to a microphone that would allow you to hear what you're recording, you essentially just established real-time communication.
Right.
You said, I'm right behind you. Yes, your digital recorder recorded that, but you also just heard it come through the speaker in your ear or that's sitting there.
Right.
Now it's real-time communication through a device. So that's what I'm saying. Terminology is kind of trying to dictate what's what here. I think it's more important to not die on a hill about, is it ITC, is it ETC,
EVP.
But really trying to get everybody to get into a groove of understanding, what does your device do? What is it designed to do? What is it capable of doing? And what are we trying to gain from it? To get an understanding of how they're doing this. Because in all of this, the goal for everybody, I feel, should be to really find a strong, reliable way to conduct real-time communication. So if we can understand the how an EVP is produced from their side and understand how we're receiving it, well, the key is right in front of us, everybody. We've got the answer in front of us. We just need to dissect it and do that, and not get caught up on this and that. That was this, that was this. It's a communication. Identifying a communication, being honest with it. Well, how does it work?
I know.
Is it reliable?
I know Joe's got a whole presentation, I think, tonight.
Damn.
So, also, folks, hold on a second. As you see right here in the chat, I posted Joe's link. It is also pinned to the top. We are trying to get Joe to 1,000 subscribers. He's 25 away. So please subscribe to Joe of the Paranormal Side. Joe, go ahead and let's I know you got some things on Tesla.
Yeah, and that kind of goes back to the ITC thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
That kind of goes back to the ITC thing too, like Brent's saying. He used Tesla coils to cause that vibration also, to be able to hear what he was hearing. So yes, it's starting to really make a little bit of sense to me also from what Brent's saying too about the two.
But keeping in mind here, so Tesla was about AC voltage.
Right.
not DC voltage.
Right.
So keep in mind, he's also creating RF as well. He was very proponent of RF. He had a tower for free energy, Wi-Fi free energy. All right, that is an RF-based free energy.
Right. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Hang around a little bit.
But on the other,
see you leave yet. Go ahead, Joe.
On the other hand, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm
on
just
the
talking
other
to
hand,
people.
You had Edison, and he worked with DC. And he said if he could create a device that could capture the soul or the essence, the conscience after death, that he believed that he could probably do that. But he died before he was able to do that, and nobody was able to find him.
Yeah, I wish he'd have left his theory on how he was going to contain that, Mr. Egon Spaniel.
Yeah.
Did he die or did he?
Did
he die? Did he die a natural death, like they say, or was?
Here we go.
Maybe the government was involved.
Pasadena Paranormal Conspiracy Theories. Episode 1.
I don't trust the government, not one bit.
Yeah,
really. Yeah.
You don't say,
huh? But here you go. I'm gonna throw one at you. Not to cut you off, Joe. Unless you needed to jump in.
Throw one at Joe, and I'll let Joe answer, and then I'll hop in after him. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I think you should both hear about that. All right. So going back to RF, let's say they're able to talk about through RF. Let's say RF is their prime mode of communication. Why? Because it's just a versatile means of passing energy. That's why our society is building around RF. All right, it's been built up around RF for our information age. So you have to really think about the potentials here. So how can a microphone do it? Because an antenna, an RF signal needs a transmitter and a receiver, right? Mm-hmm. So microphone, it is a receiver. Essentially, it's designed to do the same thing. But how could a human body then pick it up? So if they're speaking through RF, bring it to the disembodied voice part. Wow. It kind of drops a little bit, like, maybe they're not just communicating through RF. Mm-hmm. I did a study and found out that there's been, going way back, definitely into the 40s, when RF was really starting to get used a lot. Or maybe not a lot, but it was getting there. There was a lot of stuff being done with it, or it was being produced because we're in that age, and people were complaining about hearing things that weren't there. So it was a mental issue. They were blowing it off. In 61, I can't remember this guy, Frey. I can't remember, but it was Frey, something Frey. He did a study on it. Go ahead.
I'm out. Thank you, Silver Wheels.
Yeah. Thank you, Silver Wheels. I appreciate that. I sure will do that.
All right, go ahead, Brent.
Very good. We'll give her all of our love.
I already told Joe. I already told Joe we're praying for her, and
yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead.
Brent. I got there. So, but he did a study to check it out. So he had a control system for RF, and he brought in a blind study, came in, sat him down, and basically put him in a room and shot RF at him and asked him to tell him if he heard anything. And he found that in a very quiet room, or in a quiet setting, at least 5 kilohertz, all right, so 5,000 hertz, the RF, people would hear pops, whistles, squeaks, bangs, all sorts of different sounds. And what he would do is he had this aluminum plate that he would kind of just be throwing up. All right. So he's not telling them when he's shooting this, but he definitely found that every time he put that up and shot the RF at them, they didn't hear it because metal reflects RF. RF can't pass through. So he concluded that the human body can hear things produced by RF, mainly in a very quiet situation. And I'll get into, like, he speculated, and this is a documented, you can go and look this up, how it's thermal, it's called thermal something. Dang it, I'm sorry, guys. I can't remember what it's called. Thermal something. But basically what it is, RF comes in. The theory is that it gets in your brain, all right? And essentially it very quickly heats up a pocket, all right? Well, when you heat something up, you cause expansion. A quick expansion and retraction, all right, at a rate produces a pressure wave. And that pressure wave is carried through bone, which gets your cochlea in your ear and produces sound.
Right.
Okay? If you could control that, good.
Go.
I was saying, if you had an understanding to control that, you could produce a word in someone's ear. Find that very interesting, because think about this. How many times has someone said, did you hear that? And you said, nope, I didn't hear nothing. All right? Because there's a directional path here. Distance.
Plus, everybody's
body's different. Some people, everybody here, there's a range of human hearing. Not everybody's hearing is created equal anymore. Once we're born, we do all sorts of stupid stuff. And it's a very interesting thing to, I think, consider.
The paranormal office is over wheels.
Talking about this. And going back to the microphones, all right, and then all microphones aren't created equal. All right. So, one could be very easily pick up RF. All right. Or, we see it all the time. We have 3 different digital recorders and then multiple cameras out, and one
device captures something,
and only one capture it. Well, they're all different microphones. The manufacturers are all different here. So you got distance, direction, all right, all things that both pressure wave and RF fall into issues with. So I think it's definitely something to consider.
Same thing with the Faraday bag. Like a Faraday bag using a spirit box. It's the same.
Well, a Faraday bag using a spirit box should defeat a spirit box. That's a good point, because you put a Faraday bag around a spirit box, it should not pick up any radio stations. Period.
Absolutely,
because it blocks RF.
Even AM, it shouldn't pick up AM.
Right, because it's RF. So now I will say, there you go. So if if we're putting Faraday cages around every spirit box and no one gets EVPs, that would back up RF. If EVPs increase with a Faraday cage, a small Faraday cage around it, then RF is probably not the answer for an EVP. But it does bring into the question, how is it happening? And again, that's where I drive to, trying to understand how it's happening and how the device is being able to, they're interacting with it. That's the key to us really creating the perfect real-time communication device. You're using
that's the why is what drives me nuts, is because our vocal cords,
I want to get to that, Court. Good.
Create that vibration in the air. Our vocal cords create that vibration in the air that our ears pick up. They hear our voices. What creates that vibration in the air? We're looking there
for them. For them, you mean, on their end? Yeah. I mean, in the same respect. In the same respect. I mean, it's an excellent question that everybody should be asking too. But you also need to go beyond that. You're talking to them. They don't have a damn ear to pick up your pressure wave. How are they hearing you? As I say, can you talk into this red light? Just talk into this red light. They didn't have fucking eyes. What red light? So, but obviously, they have a perception of our reality, of our physical world.
Right.
Jared, you got through Scottish Paranormal, I think, when it said goosebumps. And it's interpretation here, and you had goosebumps because I think it wished you happy birthday or something. Guy wished you happy birthday, and you got goosebumps, and it said goosebumps. And I'm like, all right, if they can see a goosebump on your skin, that's a detailed visual ability, not just a wavy color. No. They can see a bump on your skin. That's texture and that's detail. So something without eyes seeing that detail is something for us to take and consider. If that was actually, if that happened and it was a spirit saying that, that's something to take into consideration.
Right.
So how they're able to manipulate energy, what are they made of? We've done so many studies on what we are made of. All right. The atoms that make us up, and understanding that energy and matter. Obviously, we don't have the ability to do that with them, but they're made of something, And
if everybody in the chat, please, I just posted this right here. Everybody in the chat, go up to the top. It's pinned. It's Joe's link, and it's my beautiful fiance's new channel link as well. If everybody could subscribe to that, Joe and Jackie, I would be very happy.
Yeah, bro, I will go into a haunted basement. Haunted. I always make fun of that word. I will go into an active basement, right? But
we don't say haunted, Joe.
Video on there of you guys up on that, what is it, a sky tram or something? Just kind of dangling like on the side of a mountain, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah, we don't like to say haunted, Joe. A lot of people, think the same thing as demon. We don't like to say that either.
I just think there's a lot of terminology in this field that people just say because everybody says it, and the kicker is no one thinks about what they're saying. And I'm not digging on anybody in this chat. I'm not digging on. We do it too. We just have a terminology that it's become common, but no one thinks through it. And Jared knows, and that's the thing, I've said it on numerous of these BTIs. It's kind of my bitch about our technology that we just use things because we saw someone else use it and get something, but not really trying to dig into why. And we all do things that are said, oh, this can get communication, but how many people really talk to the guy who actually was behind engineering that device to ensure, what was his logic behind this will be able to get spirit communication?
That's like
step on everybody's toes because I know there's a lot of people here. The SLS, most of us got on the SLS because Ghost Adventures did it, and we saw other people do it, so we bought the SLS. How does it work?
What did you have to say?
Well, I mean, that's like just a simple example is like the K2. How many people really understand what that device really is?
How many people understand what EMF is?
I know one person that doesn't, right? Get it, Joe?
Yeah, you dug into that guy. Joe looks confused.
No, I didn't hear him. What'd you say?
I said, I know one person that doesn't understand what EMF is. G.
Oh. Yeah. Right.
How many heads do you think we exploded tonight, Joe?
Well, pareidolia also, Yep.
Yes. Pareidolia, yeah. Are you talking about G thing, or are you talking about just pareidolia in general? Because
both.
Yeah, because a lot of people, and I think that's important because, pareidolia, our brains get tricked by so much. All right, there are people out there making millions of dollars because they know how to trick people's brains. They trick us all the time. I mean, advertising is tricking our brains. I need that. That's a trick of the brain. But when it comes to actually, making you think something else, it's very easy. Sound, and if you add emotion into the mix, you're done. You're on high wire, no matter what's going on. And I mean, we originally started turn the lights off, not because it looked cool, but because it heightened our senses, and we were like, okay, we really want to be, aware of what's going on. And when you got the lights off and you can't see everything, your senses go up. But you got to keep that in mind, that when your senses go up and your heart's pounding, your adrenaline starts going, now you're very susceptible to being tricked. Your brain will trick you. And the brain's tricking us all the time.
I'm sorry. I'm just smiling back at a few comments on here. It's all right.
Oh, I'm missing them.
Carry on.
If they're telling me to shut up, you got to say something because I'll just keep talking.
Not that. It ain't nothing but a G thing, baby.
Oh. So, all right, you guys start talking. Let me listen for a little bit.
Thank you. I mean, all right, go ahead, Joe. Like I said, I told you today, Brent was going to rumble. He was going to go off. He had a whole thing he wanted to say. I mean, we're 45 minutes in. We'll go a little bit longer.
Hey, bud, I'm cool.
Folks, what's up? Go ahead, Joe.
All right, rock it, Joe.
I mean, to me, EVP. I mean, it does make sense what you're saying, but to me, EVP started out, and also to me when it started out, it was reel to reel, recordings, and that they were receiving in.
Yep.
And that's why I'll take the recorder. And that's what got me started too. Actually, was going out there with just a recorder and just picking up sounds. And like you said, you have to distinguish between pareidolia, audio pareidolia, audio pareidolia.
Yeah.
That's picking up stuff. It's crazy.
All right, I will say this: I haven't really studied the origins of the microphone. All right, and going back to when the first EVP was, I know I've looked it up and paid attention to it, but I couldn't quote anything. So, but how different is it than what it is today? Obviously, the electronics, the style, everything there's obviously a ton of differences. We're just talking about, same and different and really getting in the nitty gritty of it. How did it record? Was it on pressure wave or was it because it's got to be able to take a pressure wave and convert that signal to something to record. How did it do it? And could RF have been involved in that? Or did it have to be pressure wave or what was there, what was it? Because if you go back and look at that, that would be another clue. If they were getting communication at the beginning of a microphone, because they were recording audio. So on its basic scale, it was a microphone. How did they do it? What were the mechanics of it? The engineering of that microphone? What was it? What was it based on? An operating, to make it happen, and then it would help identify this even more.
Have you? Oh yeah, that's definitely a good point. Have y'all ever tried the?
All right, go ahead. We can hit this question in a second, but go ahead, Joe.
Have y'all ever tried the using the DR60 recorder?
Joe,
I don't have it.
Yeah,
I think I have an RCA recorder, a digital recorder, because it has a thumb drive.
Sony analogs. All right.
Yeah.
Basically, we don't have a memory SD card or anything. When we're
is it
audio?
It's not analog. Analog means that it's not analog. It's digital. Everything we have is digital. You're not using tape.
It doesn't have an SD card that you can take out and put into a computer to download files. You have to manually take it into a recording program on your computer.
Right. So it's still digital. Just to be clear, it is still digital, Joe.
No, we don't. Like I said, the Stonys that we use, and Brent has a different one than I do. I don't know what he has.
I have an RCA. Yeah. Is the one you're talking about, Joe, is that the one that was discontinued that they took off because it was indeed, people were complaining that it was picking up? Man, I do want to get my hands on one of them. And
that's like the holy grail right now. It's almost fabulous.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, what do you know about that one? Give me the scoop.
The only thing I know about it is that they're very expensive. And, well, they discontinued it because people like doctors or whoever were making notes on the recorder and they started picking up other sounds, whether it was voices, pareidolia, or whatever. So it started to be known. I guess paranormal investigators started using them and they started interpreting the sounds into voices. So
now this is on a level of more often than other recorders, right? I'm guessing that it was so that
it was very sensitive.
What the hell?
Yeah, very sensitive, very sensitive. But
so that would be the interesting thing. How is that microphone of that recorder and the internal components of the receiver created? What's the difference there? What they change
from everything else?
Yeah,
very interesting.
Because was it a real clear? Do you know if it was a real clear, crisp sound, or was it kind of staticky? Clue?
Well, I mean, every one I've ever heard, I can't never hear nothing. I mean, it's just like so it don't never sound like anything to me at all. So
yeah,
yep. These ears work differently. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right. So let's hit this Parasolo question real quick. This is not EVP, but actual question.
Yeah. Yep.
It says, I'm actually making my own SLS cam and going to test it out on my first live soon. But how does it work? No damn clue. All right.
Wait a second. Hold on, Para. You're making your own SLS, but you don't know how it works. Are you just using components from something else? I want to know that first off. I would love to dig into
it. Me and Brent, Brent actually created our first SLS. It was a stationary
Xbox Connect.
It was an Xbox Connect hooked to a computer program. It had a computer or had a camera looking at the computer, and we had IR light shooting out. It was stationary. It wasn't like the fancy ones that we have today.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, and I will say, I think there's a good point that was brought up quite a few BTI episodes in the past that I think everybody should take into strong consideration with an SLS cam, and that is the fact that SLS is designed, I can say this, to be stationary.
Exactly.
For its purpose, it's designed to scan an area, understand its background, all right, what's moving, what is actually a potential human, because it's designed to track people. It's what it's designed to do. If you're moving it around,
the research that I've been doing lately, it is supposed to be at least sitting in its own environment for 15 to 20 seconds.
Yes. Yeah, but 20 seconds. Yeah. He was going to say minutes.
What's up, Joe?
Huh?
Joe?
Well, I was going to say 5 minutes.
Yeah, minutes.
I
was going to say
15 to 20 seconds. It's supposed to get used to its environment, and then it.
Hey, Faja.
What's up, Faja?
Yeah.
Cooler than the other side of the pool.
I've seen a lot of SLS Connects map stuff, and it looked like humans. But I don't think that it was actually, anything.
But and that's what it does, right? I mean, it's only going to map what it thinks is a human. That is an understandable fact of it. How it's doing, I know it's using the LiDAR. That's one thing I know it's using. All right, it's using LiDAR. I don't think it's thermal, but I think there is IR. Actually, if there's IR, so it's using thermal. If there's an IR camera, it's got an actual.
There's 3 sensors on there. There's 3 sensors on that Xbox Connect.
And the reason you can get SLS on your phone, that app, is because phones are using LiDAR now. If you were to look at this phone in IR light, you would see it's just radiating, little dots all over my face trying to map. So LiDAR. So the SLS, okay, it's tracking, but it's the program behind it. What is it actually looking for? That is very secretive, and it's not very well understood right now. So when it comes to how does it work, no damn clue. Not many people do have a clue. There's a few there. Again, there's definitely people out there that do, but most people are just taking a Connect camera and equipping something with it, just like we did.
It started out as a game mapping system. So
yeah, Xbox Connect. That's what we used.
Yep.
Yeah, I got one off of eBay. It was like, Jared, we're gonna make this work. Watch, I'm gonna hack this joker. I'm gonna get it.
Just
and
like
we did. So we had a laptop. I had a laptop and it had to be set up like that. And we had a camera filming it.
That son of a bitch right there is the mad scientist, Joe. We're working on our own.
That's why I think it's important. Yeah, we are.
Pasadena Paranormal Obulus here soon.
Yeah. That's what I want.
That's what I'm saying.
That's with that motherfucker's brain over there.
But it only works honestly, and my brain is, I use a lot what other people know. All right, I'm not that smart. I just pay attention to what other people are doing and what physicists have already done. Right. Building this. These conversations here with everybody in this chat, talking to each other, and us all talking. That's how we're going to get the next step identified.
Exactly.
And
sharing
I would love to see that shared so that we can all use this, technology and actually improve this field and get more reliable interaction. Eli's got a question though. Did he post his question?
Eli does have a question. I'm waiting for the question though. Eli, go ahead. Where's the question?
I can't explain how y'all communicated with me when I passed. I still can't explain it.
Is this from the show, from our show, when you were saying that people were communicating with you when Eli, if anybody knows Eli's story, Eli was gone and he came back. And
I don't remember what so when are you saying like when like the doctors and all were in there communicating? I know you saw a lot of stuff, Eli. And I know he said there was someone in the room that screamed at him that obviously I'm thinking was past as well. It was in that room. So I heard waves and waves.
Voices? Did he have a near-death experience or something?
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, he died.
He was gone.
Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah, they brought him back.
And he came back, and he had a hell of a story. He was speaking with Jax.
Okay, Jax said that. I spoke to you, Eli, but I'm not sure who else did. Okay.
So yeah, very, very interesting. How that happened, Eli?
All right.
I don't know.
now we just said things like, they don't have spirits don't have vocal cords. I said, well, do they have physical eyes and ears as well, right? And there's a lot of speculation here. I think everybody here at this point knows I am Bible based. I'm Word of God. That really is the foundation of where I'm at. It's not science. It's not physics and math. It's Word of God. And I remember saying that to my mom not even that long ago. I think I even told you about it, Dirk. And I was like, I just don't understand. How are they seeing and hearing and talking? My mom was like, I know they don't have bodies, but do you think they're formless? I was like, what?
That's the same way about how can they touch you? How can they scratch you or whatever? They don't have arms. They don't,
Exactly. But are they formless? Because I can show scripture quoting in the Word that does talk about a supernatural being that has a form. Matter of fact, if anybody knows about Jesus walking on the water, that's a pretty common one, whether you're in the Bible or not. Well, the disciples in the boat, they didn't think it was Jesus at first. They thought it was a ghost. Even back then, that's a ghost.
Right.
A human person walking, they interpret it as that's a spirit.
Right.
Do they have form? I would say yes. Yes, they have form. And I know we base things on our physical understanding, but just because there's no body doesn't mean they don't have these attributes. When I'm sorry, I'm gonna go into it again. When Jesus came in the room, after he died and rose again, came into his disciples, he told them, I'm not a spirit. Don't be afraid. I'm flesh and bone. Why? Because they would interpret him as a spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me you could look at him and still think that's a spirit, right? Yep. He's got a body. Something to think on. I mean, I'm just saying. So I do think it's possible that they very much have form. How many times have we heard, well, obviously there's people who have claimed to see them, right? I can attest growing up, I've seen numerous spirits. They had form. They were definitely human looking in every way, shape, or form. So yeah, I think they have form. And I saw eyes, I saw ears, I saw nose, hair, right?
Eli says,
so how they communicate? I mean, if it has
your visual and that's it, he says, and it's like you have no choice where you go. It's like a magnet. It shows you a lot of things. Basically, he's saying that something's carrying you. It's a force, Jared. Like, you have no control of what's going on. And that goes to that flowing, those waves, man.
Energy waves.
The waves, the interlocking waves or the interlapping waves. Crazy shit, man. Eli, I told you after the end of our conversation, man, like I want to get further into that because, and Eli, if you want me and Brent can come on one of your shows, and Joe can come on one of your shows. Ed, and, we can hang out and we could do a whole thing.
Don't let you, Eli. You see what happens. Don't let me on there and talk. I don't shut up. Give me some alcohol or some coffee. I'm talking. My wife don't listen to me. This is my release.
Eli, just let me know. You got the Twitter. Of course, the Twitter goes to Jackie. If anybody tries to contact me on Twitter or Instagram, that goes directly to my beautiful fiance. And then she'll forward me the message. If you get a hold of me on Facebook or YouTube, that goes directly to me.
Yeah, I bet, Jack. I know. And I'm actually really interested to hear it because I'd rather just sit there and listen to everything he's got to say.
Yeah.
So go. I do want to hear it. Ed.
Go ahead.
Yep. No, I'd love to hear everything that he had to say about it. Like it's.
Yeah.
Christy D says y'all be prepared.
Yeah, be prepared.
Hey, this is what we do, Christy.
Like this.
All right. Well, anytime anybody has any stories like that, I want to hear it.
Me too.
Yeah. If anybody,
especially someone I know and trust, I definitely am all about hearing the real deal.
Right. If anybody has ever seen Joe's channel, I'm sure 975 before this live have seen it. But if Joe does different types of videos as well. I like the way Joe produces his videos. Like the Farnsworth video was great. The last one, the EVP video that you did, that was good. I like that. The Robert Dial video, that was good. Joe does different types of videos, but he does them in a classy way. And if you
Joe, you're into cryptid stuff too, right?
I haven't been much, but I'm.
Oh, okay. I thought you were. Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to start branching off a little bit here and there.
All right.
Well, I just want to try to cover. To me, cryptids, UFOs, ghosts, to me are paranormal. So that's why I'm going to try to cover those two. But like I did the Farnsworth video, Jared, that's the way I'm planning on doing all my future investigation videos. With, all throughout the video history, supposed ghost sightings, then try to test each, thing throughout the video.
And I just
want one more, Joe.
Not here. There you go. That's awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
so, not trying to use our words against each other, but just keep in mind what you said there. And I just want to draw it back to that beginning where
thank you, Christy.
Said, the cryptid, UFOs, it's all paranormal. Ghosts, all paranormal. Terminology, I think, is an enemy of a community. You know what I'm saying? So it goes right back to that. Is EVP and ITC? Or is there a war here in terminology? There shouldn't be,
Right.
And again, there's nobody that is professionals at this. Not even, the Godfather himself.
First off, professional means you get paid for it. So yeah, there are people who get paid to do this.
No, but they're still not professionals. Even the Godfather himself, John Zappis, is not a professional at this.
Right.
He has theories. And he has
everything, and
John's
this kind of I put us in more of a line of you have theoretical physicists. We're in line with that. They're trying to understand the universe. They're using what we know and taking a theory and trying to build a model. And that's where I try to push and lead us.
Right.
You've been drinking, Christy. Don't get him started. Dang. You know what I'm saying, though? So if we actually stop and give a lot of thought to this, and as a community, this field will blow up. We will, and theories don't have to match. And even when theories don't match, that's good because we all should be learning from what worked, what failed, what worked, what failed, what worked, what failed, because all of that builds the answer. Do what?
Faja. He's cooler than the other side of the pillow.
Cooler than the other side of the pillow. I love that side.
Nah, but when me and Brent were talking Battleborn, But when me and Brent were talking about coming back to this, we retired for a while, and we were going for 5-6 years, something like that.
I was done.
I was done. Jackie started the channel, and I was like, we were pretty good back then. Maybe we should start back
Jenna.
up. Yep. But that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to come back and make this field a better place. And the more that we share information, the more that we stop faking, the more that we look further into the why instead of the let me get this out first, the better this field will be.
I just want to say this, and I'm probably going to step on toes here with this one, probably with you guys as well. This platform we don't own. We don't own YouTube or any other, social media platform. If someone's out there faking, just let them fake. It's better to be able to see and understand, to identify a faker so you're not fooled by it. Because there's people that want to make a scary video. Make a scary video. Go out there and do it. If that's your niche, go do it. I mean,
legitimate paranormal
about setting up your YouTube channel and how it works the other day, and I thought it was brilliant. But we shouldn't, we're talking about no drama on here. Don't worry about it. If someone's faking something, then let everybody know, hey, I'm pretty sure that's fake, and move on. Don't watch them again. Some people like that. Some people want to get scared by the paranormal, and they want to look at it like that, and that's it. And they don't care if it's real or not. So I just want to kind of throw that out there.
Yeah, I hear you. But if you are faking, send me a message. Dark water.
You're not going to hit the field. If you're faking, you're not going to hit the field.
Yeah, if you're faking, please don't consider yourself a legit paranormal investigator.
Did you say Dark was on here?
Yeah, Dark is on here.
Dark, I love
he said subscribe to Joe.
Good.
Awesome, Dark.
Joe, check out Dark if you haven't. If you haven't checked out Dark Water, check out his stuff. He's doing something right now. He's got a session going on. If anybody hasn't checked that out, he's running faster than I am with it. And I can't wait to get out. And
Dark's doing the Echovox with the dictation app right now on his
computer.
And
that's cool.
It's
cool.
Very, very interesting.
I think I'm ready to see a lot of people start doing that. It's pretty interesting.
Wow.
Jenna, entertainment purposes. This channel, not this channel, but people that are out there doing shit like that. Yeah, this channel is for entertainment purposes only. It should come with a little disclaimer. You got people like, me and Brent have been out there doing this forever. Joe's out there busting his balls. Rose out there busting her balls.
They were battling the freezing cold. Had Muncie out there in the freezing cold.
Dark's out there pushing the boundaries. You got Mock out there doing his thing. Debbie's out there. Jane's out there. You got people out there doing their best to try to help this field out, and you got people out there doing other stuff. And
we're working with what we have, what the best things we have, right? And that's great. Just if all you have is can get your hand on is a K2 meter, there you go. Everybody's pretty much got a smartphone. There's a digital recorder on your smartphone. Hit it and record. So, we work what we got. I think everybody has at least an understanding to the point of this is known to work, right? We don't know why and how yet, but at least it's known to work. But I do think the more we start trying to think through it and identify the boundary and then what can help us break that is going to improve this. And again, the real goal I think that everybody has is that real time communication, to be able to say, who's here? I'm here. What's your name? Bob. Bob, when did you die? 1973. And have a conversation, and there you go. But I think that I'm pretty confident, honestly, the key is here. We have an answer. We just don't know what it is yet, And it's going to take theories and actually applying them and trying to create things, understand what we already have, take that understanding and build something better, start combining things.
Yep. And we're pushing things and we're trying to do the things that we need to do, and Joe's doing the things that he needs to do to better the field. And everybody needs to help us help Joe get to 1,000.
1,000.
So his link's at the top, folks. If you haven't subscribed to Joe, please go to the top and subscribe. My beautiful fiance's channel link is at the top as well. She's just starting off, but if you would go to the top and subscribe to that, that would be great.
Watch the starfish one. You get to hear Jared make like, we're recording.
But I think that's it. We're an hour and 10 minutes into this, boys. I mean, my goodness.
Gee, I'm sorry I talked so much. Yeah, that went fast.
It did go fast.
Joe, thank you for coming on here, bro.
Yeah.
Let's not let this be the last time. This was awesome.
Yeah, definitely not, Joe. I told you, us Southern boys need to stick together.
Joe's our first guest.
Wow.
It is. This is our first guest on this. So.
Well, that's cool.
But
I appreciate it.
Us Southern boys, we need to stick together. And
damn right.
You're welcome back anytime, brother.
All right. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and don't feel shy about throwing an invite to something. You got something going on.
I talked to Brent about the other thing that you wanted to talk to. He said he'd do it. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Remember the thing that you talked about on your channel?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Do I got you on Facebook, Brent?
Brent don't have Facebook. Just go.
Okay. I drop Facebook because of drama. I hate drama. I'm too old for that. I'm like, nope, I don't care about it.
I can give you his number if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, give Joe a number and email and hit me up, bro.
All right, I'll do.
Well, you should already have his email from the email on the link here tonight.
Yeah.
There you go. Jack. Perfect.
I love your Southern boys. That's that. That's what we're, God loves Southern boys.
Right.
But again, folks, tomorrow we have a live at London Town and Gardens. Should be fun. I hope everybody.
I won't be there, but I'm excited for it, bro. I'm really excited to see. I want to see how it goes, and I want to hear back from you afterwards. I'll be ready for the call.
Nope. Well, Brent will be down here. And Brent here, I'm going to show you a little secret of what I got for you. This one's mine. It's in the paranormal office, but you're going to go back to South Carolina with this.
I love it. That's awesome.
I'm going to go back with this. I got you one.
Those scary mugs. That's great. That's so cool. That's awesome,
Jackie,
bro.
maybe this. Jackie got the other three. We're going to get a nice little frame for it, and you could take it home with you.
I see a lot of thank you there. Praise to us for this one. People listening and learning and enjoying this. That's awesome. I'm so happy everybody stayed on.
Again, folks,
I got something out of it. I love the conversation.
Oh yeah.
This was Joe's idea. Joe, I think it was a great idea.
Yeah.
I think we had time.
I think it was a long time coming. This is a conversation that needed to happen.
Right.
And I don't even know if we covered everything. I don't even know. We probably just scratched the surface, maybe. I don't even know how much more there is. So
literally,
get up on your side, Joe. We'll come over there.
We could probably go on for hours, but Joe, I'll get you Brent's number, and
y'all
talk about that.
For real.
Again, tomorrow, folks, 8:30 to 9. I hope to see you there. Should be fun. We got 10 people that aren't paranormal investigators.
I see that. Bring the dog up.
He'll be up momentarily.
That's awesome. All right, and Joe, I just want to say you have to participate in the closeout of this episode.
Yep, you have to participate. This is a BTI, brother. So
Yeah. So you got to participate in the closeout.
So that's it, folks. So for me
And Brent.
and
Joe.
There you go.
we wish you adieu, and we will not let you walk into that darkness alone. Good evening.
Have a good one, y'all.